Alright, so we're here today. We're gonna review we got a new MS 162 from the store. It comes in at 30 cc's, and then we're gonna plan on comparing it to the MS 250. This one's just a year old, and it's not that beat up. I mean, it's got some scratches and whatnot. It's a little bit dirty. Gets used, you know, but just sharpened it up. This one came with a new chain. It's a 16-inch, if I recall. This one's an 18-inch bar. It's a little bit longer than the 16. It's also runs a 3/8 chain, so it's a little bit bigger, not by much, but it's a tiny bit bigger because that one runs a 0.325. A little bit of difference, not much, but obviously, I mean, we're pulling a smaller chain here, and we've got more power, or sorry, we're pulling a smaller bar, a longer chain, smaller chain, and we've got 30 cc's. So I mean, compared to the 45, we got a lot more power in this thing, but it's also pulling a longer chain, and yeah. This one, it's only got your one nut, so you know, if you lose it, you only got to replace one. And I mean, we tighten ours down so that way it's tight, but you don't want to over tighten it too, because it is just, I mean, this saw is just plastic, so you can break if you over tighten it. And also you don't want to start, because if you tighten it too much too, you can bend the plastic and whatnot, or I mean, probably not going to happen, but you could possibly break the screw. Probably not going to happen, or bolt, probably not going to happen, but you can bend the plastic, which you don't want to do. Same starting procedure as the 250, exact same. So you're going to start with you're going to start all the way down. So you just pull the trigger in all the way down, put it in the open position. Same with this one. Same with this one. Pretty much the exact same. Well, this one, yeah, pretty much the exact same. The air filter on the 250 is obviously easier to get off. Ours is a little bit dirty right now. Might blow it off here, but yeah, it's pretty dirty. But yeah, it obviously gets used, so don't take that off. It's tuned up pretty good, so it runs pretty nice. Then this one, I'll take the air filter. I'll take it off so you can see the air filter here. So this one's got like the kind of newer style of air filter that I've seen. It's got you got to kind of take off 3 of them. One of them's easier to get off, looks like, but you need to, we'll just pop it off. Oh, and never mind, you only actually got to take off 1. That's a lot easier than 250. Because 250, we'll take off that one. So popping this one off is a little bit more difficult, obviously. You got to take off both of them. And it's got does have this one. I'll show you the intakes on them too. This one's intake is, I mean, fairly small compared to this one. The thing that was told to me when you get them, you want to put a little bit of grease in there around the plastic. That way you get a better seal. I know many of you and I have struggled with this. Is the fuel ports, getting these to go seat in the right spot. Gas isn't too much of a problem, but for me, it's the bar oil. That's the problem, getting it back in there right every time. And there's been a couple times where I accidentally messed that up. So, but with this saw, the saw's a little bit, I mean, I like these, especially on this old saw's got the same thing. I mean, not only don't even need scrunch half the time, you can just do it with your hands. But that fact's really nice to have. But yeah, I like those. Easy for both, obviously. But yeah, the trigger, I was testing them out actually. Trigger in our 024, or sorry, our 250 is it's a bit lighter than the saw. The saw's got a fairly stiff trigger. and you don't really know where it is. I mean, this one's got a fairly light trigger. This one's got a little bit heavier. I mean, it's not that much, but it's just a little bit. It could just be this saw too. I don't know. This saw is also easier to just adjust stuff with. This one kind of you're either going full or you're not going at all. It's got a little bit of, doesn't take up till about right there. So you're basically got to run it on full, which is all right. The thing about this saw is you can actually tell the fuel level of the saw. So like if you're working, you can just kind of tilt it at an angle towards the sun. And I don't know if you can tell, but there's like a little bit of difference. I think it's just because. I think it's just because. When we were going through it, I obviously had more power with the 250 than I did with the 162, which is, that's what's going to happen. It's at 15 less cc's, so I mean, and you're not getting as much fuel to the engine, and I mean other things too. I mean, we should tune it up a little bit. I think we could run it a little bit harder than it is right now, but I mean, it's just bogging down a little bit going through this stuff right here, and this is pretty dead wood. We'll probably test it on a couple other things here too, but I mean overall it's a really nice saw, really smooth, really quiet too, which is super nice if you're working in like a neighborhood or whatnot. Compared to like a 250, there's a lot louder saw. I mean, start again here. Compared to this one, which is idle it here. A lot quieter. It's probably hearing me over this. I mean, super nice saw. Handles really well. With the price point on this saw, I've got the receipt here from earlier. They say it's like, I think on the, at least in this farm fleet, it was like, it must have been on sale or something. I'm not even sure, to be honest with you. They gave it to me for $179.99. Ended up to be $189 with taxes and all that, but didn't cost too bad. Yeah. Besides that, I mean, it's pretty good saw for the money and works really well. We're just gonna use it for like brush clearing and whatnot, and then we just still use the 250 for cutting down trees and cutting up trees and whatnot. But for branches, other like smaller bits of wood, like I mean probably between 6 and 8 inches in diameter, you're probably fine with using this saw. Any higher, you're gonna run out of power pretty quick. It just doesn't have the ability to pull the bar as fast as you want it to. But I mean, both good saws, both work really well, and glad we got this because it's gonna allow us both to work now, and from having this thing, which is just not working right now. But yeah, I mean, It's good saw, both good saws. And, yeah. All right,